What's going on, people? All right, so people been asking, or I've been promising to show you the two recip saws that I use out on the job here. Now, I'm going to make a lot of changes this year, obviously. Let me get the sun glare. You saw a couple videos. I don't know if it was last summer, but definitely 2 summers ago, me and Juan. We use these a lot for roots. All right, we got to rip out a lot of shrubs, bushes, and stuff like that. Like I said, we had a video where we probably had, it was a huge job, a great job, very monetarily rewarding job, but it was a huge job. We filmed some of it, and for cutting roots with we like the Diablo pruning blades, but I think I was using. Oh, I can't remember. Before I was using pruning blades, because they really, haven't been too readily available in Home Depot. I don't even think Milwaukee makes a pruning blade. But before we got the Diablos, and the only reason I got the Diablos is because they actually had them in store. But, regular wood recip blades work okay. Obviously a big advantage. And I just use the Diablo pruning blades. They actually have a new one out, the Diablo Demon. But anyway, these are the two that we've used. There's a huge power difference between the two. Okay. The DeWalt, though, being a pretty old recip. I don't even know if they make this one anymore. I think they kind of updated this again, kind of like the circular saw. This was from a kit probably I got like 5 years ago, where it came with the circular, it came with this, and it was dirt cheap at Home Depot. I think it was like $2.99. It came with, 2 batteries, the 885, the 780, bunch of old brush tools. Now obviously the 780 and the 885 are still available, but I don't know if this one is still available. The only issue we ever really had with this one, this has been like I tell you, the DeWalt recips are great, and we see a lot of deals. And today, the deal of the day was some brushed DeWalt kit. But Juan always takes this one. He always wants this one. And the only issue we ever had was with the battery. I had to kind of hammer this back in. I don't know. He ended up doing something. He threw it down, and this kind of bent, so he couldn't slide the battery on. So I forget how I did it, but this was all it kind of bended back down. I think I just got a hammer and I used the back end of it to kind of knock the plastic down. It still goes on a little bit rough, but really nothing to do with the saw's performance. He whatever, threw it down. But I tried cleaning them up a little bit. This thing's still in pretty good shape. We don't really just use them for these huge cleanups that we do. Again, people want these old shrubs ripped out, bushes and stuff like that. This one I've actually had, or has been in use a lot longer. And man, this thing's got to be from 2013. Yeah, you can barely see it, but 2013. It's lost a lot of power since I first got it, and probably going to be retiring this thing, and I'm probably going to be retiring this too, because I really just want one battery platform. Now that I'm kind of using the Milwaukee, blower, I'm using the Milwaukee pole saw, trimmers, I got the edger. I really want to have everything Milwaukee, and I like using the cheapest tools I can find. I'm kind of like the opposite of people that are kind of in trades, maybe, that they want to use their best stuff, make it the easiest. I like to use the junkiest stuff I got, because I know it's going to get beat up, it's going to get destroyed. I got a couple of those Milwaukee Fuel super sawzalls that I like just using on projects and we're starting one here, and you'll see a video on this. But I'm probably going to end up taking a super sawzall, and maybe you have the super sawzall and their hacksaw and just keep them in the trailer for when we, and I can always bring these, but you never know when you're going to, a lot of times on a job, you got time to take down a couple bushes or some shrubs. And, chainsaws don't work really well with, viney, thin, obviously roots. You can't do it. You will dull your chainsaw blade so quickly by just getting a little grain of dirt. So that's why I use these, because I don't like going through chainsaw blades, especially wanting to. He gets the chainsaw, he's cutting, and he puts the chainsaw bar right into the ground. Every time I got to yell at him, even though I tell him when I'm not looking, he's, destroying, and then I got to cut something, and the chain is dull. So these work much better, recip saws. Again, if you're not using these things, I will tell you one thing. There's huge, with these new brushless tools, with these new upgrades in the batteries, stuff like that. There's huge differences between these and some of the newer brushless recips out there. But it depends on what you're using it for, right? If you're using, it for whatever, cutting 2x4s, obviously demolition type stuff, sheetrock, whatever you're trying to just cut through, these are great demo saws and stuff. There's no need to spend a lot of money like on a super sawzall. These will work. Now this one, I don't even think they kind of make this one anymore. This Ryobi, and no, you're not going to really use a Ryobi for that kind of stuff. But for the homeowner who's just cutting 2x4s or whatever they're doing, no need to go nuts spending a lot of money on a recip saw. This thing has more than enough power. Again, it's fine. It's old, but these newer brushless versions are just so incredibly more powerful. But you're gaining weight. Okay, you're gaining obviously a higher price tag for those type of recip saws. So just, there's nothing wrong. These things will last for forever. Like I said, we don't use these too much. 3, 4, 5 times a year. That's about it. Then we have these big jobs where we used it for like 3 days in a row. And the DeWalt is great because I have a lot of batteries with the DeWalt. The Ryobi, to be honest with you, I don't really have too many batteries for the Ryobi. So it was always a problem. And you'll burn through a battery. Like I said, that's why when you see these kits with 2 amp hour batteries with recips and circular saws, you might as well just toss them, because you'll go through literally in 10-15 minutes if you have a 2 amp hour battery on a recip saw and you're using it continuously. Forget it. You'll get like 35 minutes with a 5. The way we're using it, just nonstop cutting, digging, getting down deep, breaking those roots up, and stuff like that. But 2 old recips that again have been in the trailer, but we're gonna probably again go to the super sawzall and the hacksaw, just so I don't got to carry all these different batteries around. Again, I usually don't even carry Ryobi batteries or DeWalt in the truck, and it hurt. Because remember a couple times I couldn't do the job that the person wanted me to do because I don't have the batteries. And one time I had to actually drive, 20 minutes, go home, get the battery, then do a property, then drive like 30 minutes back to this lady's house who wanted them done before the weekend. And it ruins your whole day. So I don't want to be in that predicament really anymore. So I know I'll always have batteries available. So good to stick to one platform. That's where it kind of, we not every platform makes the best tool, right? Ryobi doesn't make the best, you know, whatever, jigsaw, let's say. You want a jig, you know, you like DeWalt's jigsaws. Now you're in 2 platforms. Well, you like Makita's impact drivers. You know, that's great, but always remember, and that's why, you know, a lot of trades, they want to stay in 1 platform. That's it. It's really because of the batteries. And so, whatever. Quick little video here. I'm kind of getting ready. Really nice day here. So, I'm trying to get some stuff out of the trailer, out of the garage, and kind of get that a little bit moving along here. Because actually, tomorrow I got to do a job. So, just trying to straighten up. But any comments or questions? Again, this is the P514, and this is the DCS381. And this is from 2015. All right, so 2015. I probably got it in maybe 16. No adjustable shoe, you know, and, you know, that would really help with roots, being able to move this shoe. So there's, you know, they're old. There's a lot of orbital action on some of these now. You know, that's why I talk about that rigid, guys. Now, again, definitely, you know, prosumer, borderline. But to get that rigid, guys, with orbital action for $70, this is still like $99 bare tool. Okay? If you were to go and try to buy this bare tool. Again, I don't think it's called the DCS381 anymore. It could be, I don't know. But $70, brushless, orbital action. The amount of power you're going to get with that over these brushed. You might not get the longevity of a DeWalt, but, you know, you got that lifetime service agreement that might help you. But, you know, a lot of options out there today compared to, honestly, just a few years ago, as you can see. But these are light, and this one is very light. This has been fine. I you know, for doing the root stuff. It's lost some power over the years. Juan hates it. He won't even use it. But it is what it is. All right. We'll catch you.